Hello everyone, myself Krutika Patel from Samarpan Gyan School, Rata. Today we are going to continue with our topic of class 10th Social Science Economics, Money and Credit. In the previous lecture we have already completed with the concept of money. In this lecture we are going to study the concept of credit. But before we go to the concept of credit, let's have a quick review of the topic money we have already covered. This is about the barter system. We started our topic with the barter system, how the money was involved. Few years ago, money was not invented. Before few years, the goods were exchanged with the other goods instead of exchanging money. But this barter system had few limitations. We have already discussed these limitations in detail in our previous lecture. The most important drawback of barter system was double coincidence of money. Then we saw that the money was invented as a medium of exchange. The main function of money is the medium of exchange. There are two major advantages of money which we saw, that is it removes the coincidences of want, and also it takes less space and it's very easier to carry. Nowadays we have seen this with the older forms of money, and nowadays we have seen the electronic money. This is the physical money and this is the electronic money, modern means of money. Then we have also seen that only one place is authorized to issue the currency notes. So which is that place? That is the Reserve Bank of India. Also it is written on the notes issued by the Reserve Bank of India that it promises to pay the bearer the sum written on that note, whatever sum is there. If this is 500 rupees note, so this 500 is the amount which the bearer of this note will be having. There are many other forms of money also. So first form is demand deposit. The money which is deposited with the bank, the extra money which is deposited in the bank is safe and it even earns interest for us. One can even withdraw money from this account as and when required. So hence this is known as the demand deposit. The next is, you can see it here, it is check. One can use check instead of cash to settle down the payments. Moreover, there are drafts also. So here we come to an end of the lecture we have already done. This was a quick revision of what we have already covered. Now we are going to start with our new topic, that is banks loan activities. Exactly, the loan is credit. So let's have a look what is credit. So first we will learn what is credit. So credit refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with money, goods or services in return for the promise of the future repayment. In future you are going to repay it again, and on this condition the loan is given, the credit is given. The borrower promises that he is going to pay it in the future. This is about credit. Banks, now how does bank has money to give us credit, right? So we'll have a look at how does bank gives us. Bank keeps a small portion of their deposit as a cash with themselves. The deposit which is done by us, we have seen demand deposits, right? The deposit which is done by us, from that a small portion is kept as cash with themselves, with the bank. This is usually 15% of the deposit. Only 15% of whatever is deposit, 15%. Every day, every people don't go to withdraw the money. Only few of them goes to withdraw the money. So this amount is kept as provision to pay the depositors who may go to withdraw the money. Whosoever will go to withdraw, they will be giving this amount from this cash which is reserved. The amount is enough because only small fractions of people go to withdraw the money. Not all go to withdraw the money every day. The rest of amount is used by the bank to give money on credit to people who need credit. Is it clear? See, the rest of the money, only 15% is kept as the deposit, so that whosoever goes to withdraw the money from their account, they can withdraw it, and not all goes to withdraw the money every day. So 15% is enough. The extra money, the other money which is there with them as a deposit, they use that as a credit to give to the people who needs credit. A bank charges interest on the loan which it gives to these creditors. Now the bank gives credit, but on that credit it charges some amount. If bank has given somebody 5,000, the bank is going to take that 5,000 on any rate of interest, maybe it 5%, maybe it 10%, maybe it 15%. So he is going to get more amount than what he has given. So now there are debit cards and credit cards available. Debit card allows you to make payment from the account which is lying in your bank account. We all must have seen the debit cards, the ATM cards. Your parents might be having those ATM cards. So you can go to that ATM machine and you can remove the amount which is there in your account. Whatever amount you want to remove, you can remove, but there are few limitations with that ATM machines also, that max to max you can withdraw only 10,000, maybe 15,000, maybe 20,000, so not more than that. If a person withdraws a lakh rupee or 2 lakh rupees from that ATM machine, then it will be empty at once only. So this limitation is kept for the debit cards also. Now credit card on the other hand provides money on credit. Credit card is also a card which provides people with credit, but it is done electronically, and this removes need of carrying cash. We don't need to carry cash any. So now there are few terms of giving credit. Now credit is not given to anybody or anyhow, like I want 10,000 and you give it to me. No, there are few certain terms of credit, agreement, conditions of credit, what basis you are going to get credit. So first is collateral security. Now what do you mean by collateral? So let me first tell you, people often need to borrow money from the various sources, like it may be many businessmen needs to borrow to buy machineries, even farmers need to buy seeds and fertilizers, or may it be farm equipments. So credit plays very important role, right? And so every loan agreement specifies certain term and condition. In many cases the bank fixes the EMI, monthly installment, equally monthly installment for the repayment of the loan. This is the most banks which uses this policy. So first term is that it needs collateral security. Now what is collateral? A person who is borrowing an asset which is owned by a borrower. A person who is borrowing should have any asset and is used as guarantee to the lender under the loan is repaid, until the loan is repaid. Till you repay the loan, the asset which you have, if suppose you are going to bank and you want to get a credit, some amount you want to take loan, so bank is going to keep something as collateral. The asset you have, maybe your maybe your land, maybe your house, maybe your vehicle, the equality of that amount of that asset, that is known as collateral. It may be house, land, vehicle, deposit with the banks, etc., or it may be gold. These are the assets. So if borrower fails to repay the loan, the money, how to recover the money which the bank has given it to you? So the bank will use the money by selling your asset, your collateral, to get the payment back. So this is about collateral. The next is documentation. This is very simple. The documents like your identity proof, your house identity proof, 2 references will be needed. So certain documents which are needed to fulfill the demands of the credit. Even the terms of credit, on what basis the credit is given, what conditions, there are agreements made that how the payment is going to be made. So what is the term of credit? Mode of repayment, how is the person going to repay? Is he going to half yearly or monthly or quarterly? How the person is going to pay the loan? And the most importantly, the rate of interest. What is the rate of interest? Let's continue with our topic, that is the importance of credit for the farmers. As we have seen, I have already told that farmers also in rural areas need credit to buy pesticides, seeds. So and they need it during certain periods only, because farmers need loan during beginning of the season and they repay the loan after the harvest of the season. So now there are two sources of credit. What are the two sources of credit? Formal source and informal source. Formal source of credit and informal source of credit. So formal is a source of credit which is like banks, cooperative society, and it is supervised. These formal sources are supervised by the Reserve Bank of India, and they also collect very low rate of interest, and they have to follow certain rules and procedure. Whereas the informal sources of credit are given by the money lenders, employers, maybe relative, friends, and here there is nobody to supervise the work, the lending they have done, and so they can collect very high rate of interest, and there is no rules and regulations to this informal sources of credit. In rural areas, we can see the percentage, that how many percent the people are taking loan from formal sources, from informal sources. Here we can see in the urban areas 85% credit from the informal sources and only 18% from the bank. So here we can see that only richer people are taking advantages of the loan given by the bank, more businessmen and all, and not to poor. So what are the reasons why poor people are not taking advantage of the bank facilities? So first of all, it says that it needs collateral security, as we discussed earlier, and so poor, they don't have any asset to give as a collateral, and so bank is not able to give loan. Now moreover, the banks are also not available in the rural areas, and also this bank consider the poor people as, they do not consider this poor people as credit worthy, and so this poor and the ignorant people find it difficult for doing the for doing the documentation work, as we have discussed earlier. So many people, to qualify the requirements of the credit worthiness of the banks and the cooperatives, so there are many who may not have enough documents like residential certificate or maybe income certificate. Such people are usually at mercy of informal lenders, and so they are forcefully using the informal sources of bank which do not informal sources of credit which do not follow any rules and regulations. So the borrower is seldom able to escape the never ending cycle of loan repayment. So here we come to an end of today's topic of credit. Here we saw what is credit, the terms of credit, and the sources of credit. In the next lecture, we are going to meet with self-help group, which is the new and the current phenomena of the village people. So that we are going to discuss in the next video. Till then, bye bye, tata.